Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum has just hit the technical price targets for this bearish rising wedge pattern, while Bitcoin is now running into important support, which I'll talk more about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off on the daily Bitcoin to US dollar chart, and obviously right now the price of Bitcoin is still in this pullback, still in this correction phase, and from the moment we confirmed a break below 22.7k, the next significant support here on the daily time frame was sitting at around 21.4k approximately if you're looking at this previous high. But if you're looking at the golden pocket, then that really starts at around 21.2 to 21.3k. So basically the lower $21,000 prices is the next significant area of support here on the daily Bitcoin chart, once again based on these previous Fibonacci levels and previous resistance. And now, technically speaking, if you're looking at this larger trend here on the daily time frame, we are still seeing higher lows and higher highs as of right now, at least, which, as I explained in more detail in my last video, this basically means the price of Bitcoin on the daily time frame could remain in a bullish trend if we hold above some of these important support levels like this golden pocket that I just mentioned. And essentially this pullback could turn out to be a correction within a larger bullish trend. But of course, if we start to see more signals confirming a bearish reversal or a bearish trend beginning on the daily time frame, such as lower lows and lower highs beginning to form and previous support levels flipping into new resistance, things like that, then of course those would be signals helping to confirm a new bearish trend forming on the daily time frame. But at least as of right now, we don't have those larger bearish signals in terms of the price structure right now. But of course, in the shorter term, we are still bearish, just not necessarily within the larger trend on the daily time frame, at least as of right now, once again. And now, if you take a look at the 8-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, looking at the volume profile indicator, obviously a couple days ago now, we've seen a break below this area of support, which was sitting at around 22.7k towards the bottom of this support. And from the moment we saw a break below that level, the price dropped almost straight towards this next area of support in the volume profile indicator, which starts at around 21.5k. And so far, as of recording this video, that's pretty much exactly where the price of Bitcoin has found a bit of short-term support. And now, if we do end up seeing a little bit more bearish price action here, we actually have even more support closer towards 21,000 exactly. And as for the lower end of this range of support, that is sitting at around 20.5 to 20.6k. So basically a confirmed break below around 20.5 to 20.6k right around here. In that case, that would essentially confirm another significant leg to the downside in the price of Bitcoin and essentially confirm a larger bearish trend on the daily time frame if we actually see a confirmed break below around 20.5k. And of course, right now we still have this shorter term bearish divergence playing out, which is putting bearish pressure on the price in the shorter term, as I have been talking about ever since up here. But despite the fact that this bearish divergence is technically still active because we're still seeing a strong downtrend in the RSI on the 8-hour time frame, we can clearly see that the 8-hour Bitcoin RSI has recently entered into oversold territories and is currently very close to oversold territories, which technically means we have somewhat limited room to the downside according to the 8-hour Bitcoin RSI. And so even though we have not confirmed the invalidation of this bearish divergence, which means this bearish divergence is still in play, it's possible that this bearish divergence might be ending soon based on the RSI reaching some of its lower limits. And speaking of the RSI reaching some of its lower limits, looking at the Bitcoin RSI, but on the 2-hour time frame, we can actually see a new uptrend potentially beginning to form and an actual bullish divergence forming here and currently playing out on the 2-hour time frame. And so what this means is that we're due to see reduced bearish momentum in the imminent short term, as in the coming hours, maybe over the next 1 day or so, because it is important to mention that this bullish divergence is only really visible on smaller time frames like the 2-hour chart, for example. And essentially, the smaller the time frame or the smaller the pattern, pattern, the smaller the duration that the pattern will play out. So basically, a bullish divergence only on the 2-hour time frame is likely going to fizzle out over the coming hours, maybe over the next 1 day or so once again, whereas a bearish divergence on the 8-hour time frame, for example, could play out over multiple days, even up to a week or so. But at least in the imminent short term, once again, the price is running into some important support close to 21.4 to 21.5k at the top of this range right here in the volume profile indicator. And while the price is running into this support, of course, once again, we're seeing that short-term bullish divergence, basically meaning we're likely going to see either some choppy sideways price action or a slight bullish relief over the next 1 day or so as the most likely scenario. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and obviously right now the price of ETH is still continuing with the rejection from that important range of resistance in between 1650 to 1.7k. And obviously, as I've also been warning about for a while now on this channel, we do have a bearish divergence playing out here on the daily time frame, because obviously we've already formed higher highs in the price action and lower highs in the daily RSI. And so once again, this essentially means we should not be expecting a significant amount of bullish momentum on the daily time frame for at least 1 to 2 weeks or so, which means it's likely we're going to continue to experience a little bit more of a correction, or at the very least some choppy sideways price action in more of a consolidation range, basically acting as potentially a larger pause from this bullish trend on the daily time frame. But once again, as I explained in more detail in my last video and also a little bit earlier in this video, it's possible we could remain in a larger bullish trend, and this could just be a correction within a bullish trend, kind of like what we saw back here, for example. But obviously, if you're talking about the shorter term, we are clearly looking more bearish than bullish here in the short term, which I have also been talking about over the last few days once again. And now, if you take a look at the Fibonacci levels of support on the daily ETH to US dollar charts, just over the last 1 day, we've actually seen a break below the 23.6% Fibonacci level of support, which was sitting at around 1530 to 1540. And so far, we have seen 1 daily candle close below that level. And now something else to mention is that we do also have this previous low. If you're looking at the daily candle closes right here, this previous low is sitting at approximately 1.5k to around 1510, so just above 1.5k. And at least as of right now, just in the shorter term, we are finding a bit of support around that previous support level just here, which I'll talk more about in just a moment. But now when it comes to other significant levels of support here on the daily time frame below 1.5k, we have important support all the way down here at around 1430 to 1440. Below that, then I would expect support closer towards around 1350 to 1360. And below that level, we have the golden pocket starting at around 1280. And all of these levels should be acting as significant support here on the daily time frame. And now staying on the daily ETH to US dollar charts, but taking a look at the volume profile indicator on the daily time frame, it's actually very important that the price holds above around 1.5k, because otherwise, if we start to see a further confirmed break below around 1.5k, then in that case, we don't actually have a lot of traded volume directly below 1.5k, and the next significant area of volume comes into play at around 1370 approximately, with a lot of support closer towards around 1320 to 1340. So basically, if we see a confirmed break below 1.5k, it's actually possible we could see a continued drop down towards the mid 1.3k price range. And this is of course because during that massive run up in the price, we did not actually see many pullbacks along the way, setting support levels on the way up, which means if the price action starts breaking below this area just here, below around 1.5k, then we could likely see a move to the downside in the opposite direction to what we saw back here. So basically, we saw a quick move to the upside, and we could likely see a quick move to the downside if 1.5k is broken with confirmation on the daily time frame. And another reason reason why 1.5k has been an important level, especially over the last few days, is if you're taking a look at the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart. Obviously, as I've been talking about since the price was all the way up here, we have a bearish rising wedge pattern that is more likely to break to the downside, and obviously this played out as expected. And from the moment the price broke below that support level at 1620, we had a technical price target sitting at around 1.5k, so the bottom of this wedge just here. And just recently, the price of ETH has officially hit that 1.5k price target. So this bearish rising wedge pattern is now complete. It has fully played out. So obviously, congrats to any of you who have been watching my videos for the last few days, and for those of you that took this trade right here, because obviously a lot of money could have been made right there. And if you want to actually know how to make a lot of money even on a bearish move like this, then make sure to check out the video in the top left of your screen right now, because that video shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.